Yo, good morning, How Let Looses. How are we doing today? Just coming at you with a really quick how-to. Very basic, very simple, but with the recent games and the lack of quality and communications in them, this is going to be probably one of the most important ones to get your head around, especially if you're a new player. However, experienced players are not exempt from this, as I have recently found out. And we are, of course, talking about the importance of communications in the game. Now, we've touched about it quite a few times across our previous videos, and we've hinted across team cohesion and unit cooperation in terms of pointing out the enemy location, getting marks on the map, and making sure that you're always in communication with your team, and just, giving information, seeing what you're seeing, calling out targets, and doing strategy play. You'll quickly find that without communication, games fall apart very, 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 very quickly. So we're going to go back to basics, day one, boot camp stuff, and just remind you all, for those who have hours in the game already, and to teach you guys who are looking to get into the game, how to effectively communicate in the game. Now, there are two ways of doing it. There is obviously with voice, microphone, for which the game contains 3 channels. And then there is an alternative way, which is a text chat, for which there is 2 channels, one for team and then one just for your squad. So your squad of 3 if you're in a tank, squad of 2 if you're in a recon, squad of 6 if you're in infantry. Mic is always going to be desirable. It's quicker, it's more clear, you can get the detail, and it means that you keep playing whilst you're still communicating. Now, 3 channels. We're going to hop into the game, and I'm going to show you how to identify them, how to know who is using what channel, and to make sure that you're using the right channel when you're communicating in the game. So with the 3 voice channels I have in the game, there'll be one that's a proximity. It'll be an area chat, which can be finicky, so you have to play with the audio levels in your audio settings quite a lot for it for the PC players. I'm not too sure what the audio controls are for consoles, but basically the further away you are from someone, the quieter you're going to get. So it really is to communicate with other teammates that aren't in your direct squad that you might pass by, warning them of enemy flanks, tanks coming, artillery fire, whatever. And that is going to be with V, okay? Now, in the bottom left-hand side, you will see not only is there like a 3-pronged broadcast symbol that comes up in the color for the channel, for the proximity chat, that is blue, you'll also see your name will come up. Now, this is important because if other people are talking to you, you will not only see the name of the person who is talking, and obviously you'll see the color the name is representing the channel. So this is really something you wouldn't use massively until you start getting to front lines and you're starting to cross-communicate squaddy versus squaddy that aren't in direct squad. So if you want to communicate with Alpha squad and you're in Bravo squad, that's how you do it without going to your squad lead and then your squad lead going to their squad lead. And you can see already how that can slow down the activity of communications. Now, the next one we're going to see is probably going to be the one that you should be using the absolute most. This is keybound to C. This is green. This is for your squad. So whoever you're in with, so like I said earlier, it'll be you and 1 other for recon. It'll be you and 2 others for tanks. And it'll be you and 5 others if you're in infantry squads. Only you guys can hear what you see in this channel, this green channel. Again, you'll see the 3 prongs in the left and you'll see your name highlighted in green. So you know you're using the right channel. Also, when there's loads of things going on, loads of noise and loads of people talking different channels, especially once you start going up to the next channel, we'll cover that very shortly, you'll know then who's talking to you and what, and then you start learning to prioritize comms. You'll always prioritize green comms over blue comms because they're your actual squad. You're responsible for each other. That's your cohesion. That's your brotherhood. Okay? So, now we're going to go up to the one that I wouldn't say everyone would use. In fact, everyone wouldn't use it because this is command channel. And this is depicted by the X key, by default keybinds. And this is in orange. Now, this is only a channel for squad leads and the commander role. No one else can hear this. Okay, so if you're a tank commander, if you're the spotter for a recon squad, if you're a squad lead or the commander, they can talk amongst themselves. And this is where you start requesting tanks, you start requesting supply drops, you start calling out enemies. If you've got someone on artillery, then that's one way of funneling information down to an artillery squad or an artillery player. It's a very, very high responsible channel. This is not something to be taken lightly, and this channel is one that really decides the fate of a game or fate of a round, purely because this is where you'll start coordinating your AT against enemy tanks. You'll start coordinating, preventing flank spotting, airheads for coming down. Without this, it's probably the weakest link you'll ever get. So if you're gonna go squad lead and if you're gonna go commander, you need to know about this channel. You need to be using it. My opinion, and the opinion of a great deal many other people, is you should not be using any squad lead roles if you're not going to be on a mic. Just not going to be on a mic is a big no-no for any leadership roles. We can forgive it as a squaddie. We can forgive it if you're just a regular, like, a boot on the ground, if making up another infantry squad. And again, even then, it's still not ideal or not liked, but we understand it. So, that is V, yeah, blue, proximity. Then we're looking at C, green, for squad. And then we're looking at X, orange, for command chat. They're your three verbal voice mic channels that you'll see. Now, on top of this, there are 2 additional channels that you can use that are text-based only. Now, on the top left hand of your screen, there's where typically your text pop-up will be. And this is where I would offer a little bit of leniency. If you're not on a mic, or if yours just broken, or if you're in a tough spot and you can't afford one, or you have family members, or you're in the same room as someone sleeping, you know, you got a little one that's trying, you know, whatever, you don't disturb anyone, fine. We all have our personal scenarios. This is a game. We're here for fun and we're here to enjoy each other. Use the text chat as often as you can if you're not going to be on a mic. Now, the caveat to this is it means you can't be doing anything in the game because you're going to be on the keyboards. You're going to be typing, right? But it's a nice little alternative. These channels are going to be K. Now, on the top left of the screen, you'll come up again, blue, right? Blue text. Although it's not a proximity chat, this will go across to the entire team. Everyone on your side, on your faction, whether you're Axis, whether you're Soviet, whether you're British, whether you're US allies, everyone will see your blue text and it will come up and you can type whatever. Now, there are profanity filters, so please keep it clean. Please be sensible. But this will be a case of like an FYI, or to call out to anyone else if you see something, or if your squad hasn't got effective comms, like your squad leader's silent, and they're not listening to you, you can alternatively then jump to this to try and make up the weak link bestowed upon you across your colleagues. Now, the alternative one will be the L key. Now, the L key is green, and green, we all know from the voice ones. What is it? Do we know? Can you remember what green was? No? Green is for your squad. So whatever you type now in this channel, only your squad will see. Now, you probably wouldn't use this a great deal because you should be working together anyway. Now, again, if you're not going to be on a mic, fine, use it as an alternative. What I would say is this could be quite important to pin and highlight coordinates, ranges, important bits of information. Because obviously, if you press page up on your keyboard, you'll then reveal the text box. So if you type in there, you know, a grid square of where an enemy is or an airhead is, and you've forgotten about it, you can page up and you can see it again, which is a nice little alternative way of doing it. I would never really ideally promote the text channels to be your primary form of communication, but I will certainly appreciate you if you use that as an alternative to your mic. If you absolutely must be voiceless. I can't say in any other dialogue than that without being too rude. Again, it's a game. We're all here for each other. But this game relies on communications. Quick recap, real quickly. So for voice comms, we have V, which is blue for proximity. Then we have C, green for your squad. Then we have X, which is your command chat for the ones in charge of yourselves and the games and the supplies. And then if we go then into text comms, we have K for the entirety of the team, and then we have L for your squad only. Exercise these, educate everyone else, and you will see a massive change in your games. And until the next video, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. So love you long time season laters. Goodbyes.